Welcome to Rima Realities TV, channeling quick insights into divine truths.
I would like to speak to you on God's management principles. God's management principles, or kingdom management principles. Every human was born to be in business. And there are 6.7 billion people on earth, and each one of them was designed by God to be in business. However, the cemetery is filled with businesses that never opened. I still sadly believe that the wealthiest spot on earth is not the diamond mines of South Africa or the gold mines of South America. It is not the oil fields of Iran, Iraq, or Kuwait. But I still believe that the wealthiest spot on planet Earth is the cemetery. And the cemetery is wealthy because buried in the cemetery are dreams that never became reality, books that were never written, paintings that were never painted are in the graveyard, music that was never written or sung are in the cemetery. The graveyard is filled with great men who died as alcoholics and drug addicts. It is filled with great women who died as prostitutes and alcoholics. The cemetery is filled with companies that never opened, products that were never sold, inventions that were never invented. What a tragedy. What do we call this wealth in the cemetery? I call it potential. The graveyard is filled with potential because the word potential means untapped power, unused energy, dormant ability. The word potential means hidden strength. It means unused success. The cemetery is filled with potential because people die never manifesting the great ability and gifts and talents that God hid within each of us. I came back to Nigeria because of one passion. And that passion is that sitting next to you right now is someone who is a candidate to add to the wealth of the cemetery. It is my hope that at the end of Shiloh 2004, you would have made a decision to die empty. You will not take that great gift, that idea, that dream that God gave you birth with and for to the cemetery. And if you agree to die empty, let me hear you shout amen. Tell your neighbor, don't die until you are empty. I am so excited about the theme of this year's conference, and that is showers of blessing. When we think of the word blessing, we normally think of receiving something. I thought that was the meaning also. But as I studied and grew in the faith, I was shocked that many words that we read and we have our ideas about them are not always what we thought they were. The word blessing, or to bless, please write it down, it's from a Hebrew word. It is spelled B-A-R-A-K. Barach. It is also in the New Testament a word called E-U-O-L-O-G-U-E. It's where we get our word eulogy from. The word bless means to praise, but it also means to release. Please write that down. The word bless means to release ability. To release ability. To bless means to give permission for ability to be released. This is important because God has called us together at the end of 2004 to speak over us showers of blessing. God, in this great conference, is demanding from you the ability that He hid inside of you. When God says, bless you, He is telling you, release your hidden ability. God's purpose for creation was to serve the purposes of man. And God's purpose for creating you and me was to have dominion over creation. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 is very clear. And God said, let us make a species called man, and let us make them in our own image and in our likeness. Why? Why did God create these beautiful creatures called man? He tells us in the next statement, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the cattle of the field, and over all the earth, and over everything that creeps upon the ground. Verse 27, so God created man in His own image. In the image of God created He him. Male and female created He them. And God blessed them. There's that word. Verse 28, and God what? Blessed them. And God did what? Blessed them. So God created a species called man. He made them in two models, male and female model. My wife is a man, and I am a man. But she is the female model, and I am the male model. All companies make different models. When you buy a car from Toyota, you got a truck model, and a sedan model, and you got a station wagon model. But it's the same company, and all of these are automobiles. They are the same product, but they come in different models based on their use. I am a man in a male body. My wife is a man in a female body. So we are both man. The word man is the Hebrew word ish, I-S-H, and it's referring to the whole species. All of us are spirit beings called man, but the male and the female are the different models. And God blessed them. And God did what? Now, God created these spirit species called man, to have dominion over the creation. And he listed birds, fish, livestock, animals, plants in the earth, and things that creep on the ground. He gave us dominion. The word dominion means to govern, to rule, to control, to manage, and to lead. Please write that down. The word dominion means what? To govern, to rule, to control, to master, to manage, and to lead. The word dominion means rulership, kingship, authority, to govern, to rule, to control, to manage, and to lead. When God created you, He did not have slavery on His mind. He had rulership. When God created you, He did not have servitude on His mind. He had authority and dominion and management and leadership. You were created by God to demonstrate rulership, dominion, authority, mastery, management, but not over people. Notice the list includes fish and birds and cattle and trees and things that crawl on all fours. But there's one thing missing on the list, and it's another human. Tell your neighbor, you are not created to dominate me. So mind your own business. Every human being in this auditorium was created by God to have rulership, dominion, authority, management, and mastery over something in the earth. That means trapped inside of you is the spirit of dominion. Trapped inside of you is the gift of rulership and mastery, but not over people. Very important. Now, God knew that inside of Adam was a ruler, a master, a governor, a manager, an authority. He knew it was there because He put it there. And God knows it's inside of you. But in verse 28, this is very important. God speaks. It says, and God blessed them. Whenever God blesses someone, He must speak afterwards. There must be an announcement. A blessing must be followed by an announcement. Why? Because a blessing is permission to release ability that's trapped on the inside. So God could not just say, bless you, Adam and Eve, and then walk off. Because to bless means to permit ability to be released. So God had to say, and God blessed them and said. You cannot bless without speaking afterwards. And you must speak to the ability on the inside. This is the year that God is setting you up to release your potential. And God is going to speak to every one of you before this week is over. And He will not only say, bless you, but He's going to make a statement afterwards. Because to bless means to identify and to release ability. God saw billions of people inside of Adam. God saw billions of sperms inside of Adam's loins. So Adam was full of the human race. God is amazing. There are over 6 billion people on earth, but God only created one. from the soil. He never went back. That means everybody was in that one body. God finished everybody, put them inside one body, and took the one body, put it in the garden, and called it Adam. The word Adam means dark earth. I knew he was an African.